Let's Hear It Live. We are live, and I am Fiona Forbes.
And I'm Jeremy Saffron. Big day tomorrow's the Junos. We're getting closer.
We're getting closer. We had Juno's Week, Juno's Weekend. We're in the middle of it. And then tomorrow, it's the big dance people, the Junos, with Michael Bublé as host. 5 p.m. it starts here on the West Coast, and so it's 8 p.m. conveniently for those in Toronto.
In Toronto.
Not that we judge.
Not at all.
But it's going to be a great day for Vancouver, and it's going to be a great show for us today because we have so much jam-packed into this program. You got the chance to interview some wonderful fellas who are going to be performing on the show today.
Derival. The 5 of them, actually, there's only 4 here. The drummer wasn't here, but
spontaneously combusted.
Just gone all of a sudden. But a great band, and they're local too. So we were talking about the exchange of having this community behind them and actually doing the Junos in Vancouver.
Wonderful stuff. And I got the opportunity to chat with Karen Lee Batten. She's got a brand new album out. And Paul, of course, Paul McClellan, he's going to be at the Vancouver Art Gallery. We hope you have had a chance to check out some of the action down there. He's done so many interviews.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be chatting with Dear Rouge, Fionn, Don Pemberton, Felix Cartel, Funk Hunters, and a whole lot more.
He's so busy, and the energy's down there. I mean, it really looks like it's happening down at the Vancouver Art Gallery. And like Fee said, you should go check it out. You still have a couple of hours.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we have jammed into this show, getting ready for the big show, which is tomorrow night at Rogers Arena. You can watch all the action. It's really interesting this year. They're going to be live streaming the Junos.
Yeah, Twitter's carrying it.
I know, it's everywhere. You can go to junoowards.ca to find out everything about how to watch and what to watch. And a lot of people have been asking us, since we've been talking about the Junos, can you go? Yes, you can.
Is it accessible to us regular people? And it is.
It is. You can go to Ticketmaster. They actually released a whole new batch of tickets today. I just checked about half an hour ago. There was still a whole bunch left if you want to check it out live, because of course there's going to be a ton of great performances, including the one we're all waiting for. We were talking about it yesterday, Bare Naked Ladies.
Bare Naked Ladies with Stephen Page. It's going to be a fascinating one. And Stephen Page.
He's not in the band, but it's the first time, as you probably know, they're reuniting. And if you look at the Bare Naked Ladies Twitter page like we did, they tweeted this afternoon. Now, I was reading all the comments, and apparently the positioning of Ed Robertson's fingers on his guitar made one fella think that they're going to be playing Yoko Ono. We think they're going to do a medley.
Oh, it's got to be a medley. We got to get all of the tunes involved, you know? I think that's one to look out for. It's going to be pretty fascinating.
It'll be really fascinating stuff. And of course, as we said, we've got lots coming up on the show today. We just wanted to take a moment to thank Hubcast Media. That's where we are. That's who we are. And we also wanted to thank Chambers Plan Group Insurance as well for being a great sponsor and making this all happen.
It's an exciting hour that we have ahead. And Paul,
because we're online, we can do what we want.
That's true. If we run an hour and 15, stay with us. At the very end,
it's just that good.
Derival, who I did interview, and you'll see later on in the show, they're actually going to perform for us, so that's going to be pretty exciting too.
And what we're going to do right now is we're going to find out what is happening down at the Vancouver Art Gallery with Paul McClellan. Paul, take it away.
Hey guys, it's a little loud down here, so I'm making sure I get my cues. I'm outside the Vancouver Art Gallery for Let's Hear It Live once again. Right now on the stage, Peach Pit. It's been free admission all day, all sorts of awesome bands. Now, Peach Pit is one you definitely want to keep an eye on. They just officially announced that they've signed with Columbia Records. That just literally was just announced. I heard it yesterday, but now it's official, I can tell you guys. They've only released one album before that. It was produced by Harley Small, who used to be the frontman for They're, a great Vancouver band that's now defunct. Keep an eye on them. They're one of my personal picks for someone who's going to explode very soon. Now, the stage has been filled with all sorts of talent all day. Fionn were on the stage earlier, and I got a chance to chat with them just before their set. I'm here with Fionn right now, Brianne and Alana. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I know it's a little chilly out here right now. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Now, I've read very official-sounding documents on the internet stating that you guys have telepathy, if I could speak. Is there truth to that? Confirm or deny? Telepathy, if I could say that.
Well, occasionally we're thinking about the same dessert at the same time. Yeah. So I'm like,
that happens quite frequently.
I want chocolate cake, and she's like, I was just thinking about chocolate cake.
Does it spread to music though?
Doesn't spread to music. It's just dessert. No, no, it's dessert and music. Yeah, no.
Only for dessert and music. So you guys are basically like some of the X-Men.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. It's like a superpower.
Yeah.
We're basically superheroes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Now, I've been seeing you guys playing shows, so many shows throughout your teen years. Has music always been there for you two? Is it something you two have always bonded over?
Yeah,
It
ever
is.
since we were like little kids, like in the backseat of our grandparents' car. Like apparently we'd always like start a song at exactly the same time, and like we wouldn't count or anything. We just like, and they were always like confused. And they were like, how did they do that? But like we just, I guess we had the telepathy from the beginning, you know? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Telepathic abilities, there they come in again. So the last single you guys put out was Skeletons. I love that one. It's all about like, it doesn't matter what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that counts. What's that song all about to you guys?
Yeah. Well, I wrote it when I was like in high school, and I kind of just started to notice that, I don't know, as I got older, like a lot of people would kind of like just judge, I don't know, people like as you get older judge you more for the outside than the inside, like especially like when you're dating and stuff. So I just got kind of angsty about it, and I was like, and I just wrote it, and then, yeah, no,
It's got like a Tim Burton vibe almost to it. What did you guys think? Sort of, there's like a darkness, but definitely a light to it as well.
yeah, I mean the lyrics are kind of dark, but then the melody's kind of upbeat. So we wanted to like combine it. We didn't want it to sound completely happy, so Yeah, we because added it some. isn't. Yeah. No, because it's not like a happy song, even though like it's kind of upbeat. So we kind of tried to make it a little creepy.
Love it, love it. And I hear there's a new single on the way as well with a music video. What's up with that one?
Yeah, we're gonna release our single Magazine Face soon, which we're really excited about. We recorded our first ever music video with it, which we were like super stoked. It was super fun, and it's kind of a similar theme to Skeleton. It's just about how like if you don't feel good about yourself on the inside, you're not gonna feel good like. Wait, no, sorry, I said that wrong. If you make yourself look good on the outside, it's not gonna make you feel good on the inside. So if you make yourself all pretty and like put a bunch of makeup on, like even if you look good, it doesn't make you feel any different inside. So I feel like a lot of like young girls struggle with that because they think if they make themselves look beautiful on the outside, they're gonna change how they feel on the inside. But it's just not. It's not a thing. So
Thank you again, Fionn. Cheers.
And welcome back once again to Let's Hear It Live. We, of course, are celebrating the Junos. There was so much happening around town. Fionn, they seem like wonderful girls.
Fantastic. In fact, we're going to hear one of their songs coming up in a minute or two.
We certainly are, and I can't wait to hear it. We wanted to talk a little bit more about the Junos because what's happening this evening, actually, as we speak, it is the big Gala Awards dinner that they have for the Junos every year.
Totally. Exciting. Tom Powers from the CBC is hosting that. And in fact, something I didn't know, 36 Junos are being handed out tonight.
Yeah, very interesting. What they do is they give out some of the awards in advance because otherwise, of course, we know award ceremonies can go on for 10 hours. Yeah. So at the gala dinner, it's all the nominees, all the people in the industry. We did find out by a little bit of sleuthing that it's happening at the Vancouver Convention Centre. But the International Achievement Award is being handed out to Arcade Fire tonight, along with a whole bunch of other awards. So the big gala do this evening, if you're out and about around town, you'll probably see some rock stars, I'm sure.
Totally. And I think that Vancouver's that kind of a city where it's stopped raining right now, and I think people will be going from that Gala Awards to other things, so get out, maybe get some selfies with your favorite groups.
Absolutely. So much going on, including what's going on at the Vancouver Art Gallery. And you saw Paul McClellan interviewing Fionn right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to hear their brand new song right now. It is called Magazine Face.
All right, so the section we're really excited about because we're actually going to release it as our second single really soon. And we recorded our first ever music video with it, which is like the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah,
so.
super fun. We've been like practicing our music videos in the mirror since we were like 9. And it was like, it was such a great experience.
It really was. Anyway, it's called Magazine Face. We're going to release it really soon. And I kind of just wrote it about, I don't know, how sometimes we think if we make ourselves look good on the outside, that we'll feel good on the inside, but it doesn't really work, you know? Even if you make yourself look all pretty in the face, you're not going to feel good inside. So it's just called Magazine Face. I'm standing tall, but feeling stiff. Can't explain it. I should feel lucky. He sounds so sweet. I look so pretty, but he's making me vain. I'm getting made of pieces. I like you with your makeup. I miss magazine faces. Marilyn is craze. This was all that I ever wanted. Little girls wanna grow up and be wanted. I make candy coat is on, but I feel as sweet as a crowbar. 'cause you took my luck. I was okay until the day you traded me in for a magazine face. He doesn't care about my views, just as you of me from his chair while he blows smoke that hangs on my clothes. It owns me. Oh, he doesn't know me, but I'm naive. I believe when he tells me he'll stay forever. The false hope I need. This was all that I ever wanted. Little girls wanna grow up and be wanted. I make candy coat his arm, but I feel as sweet as a crowbar. Mirror, mirror, when I look too much, wanna crack your glass, 'cause you took my luck. I was okay until the day you traded me in for a magazine face. Oh, oh, oh. I've never looked better, but I've never felt worse. Red lips and mascara, they come with a curse. I've never looked better, but I've never felt worse. Red lips and mascara, they come with a curse. I've never looked better, but I've never felt worse. Red lips and mascara, they come with a curse. I've never looked better, but I've never felt worse. Red lips and mascara, they come with a curse. Mirror, mirror, when I look too much, wanna crack your glass, 'cause you took my luck. I was okay until the day I traded me in for. Mirror, mirror, when I look too much, wanna crack your glass, 'cause you took my luck. I was okay until the day I traded me in for a magazine face. Oh, oh, oh. This was all that I ever wanted. Little girls wanna grow up and be wanted. Thank you so much.
The Chamber's plan now offers employee benefit programs with greater selection, higher coverage levels, and more value than ever before. Take another look and see why we're the choice of more small businesses than any other plan in Canada. The Chamber's plan. It's for your benefit.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Hear It Live. All the JUNO action around town, and it wouldn't be a Canadians Award if we didn't have a hockey game involved.
Isn't that the truth?
It's the
JUNO
truth.
Cup. The JUNO Cup.
The JUNO Cup, in case you didn't know, has been happening for the past 15 years, and they have rocks and they have jocks.
Yeah.
This year they had a lot of Olympians, a lot of former NHLers playing against a lot of people in the rock and roll business. A lot of good Canadian
Jim
kids.
Cuddy, no helmet, you know.
I know, with his hair flying, his hockey hair flying in the wind, there he is. But over the past 15 years, this is the great thing about the JUNO Cup, it actually raises money. And over the past 15 years, it's raised over $840,000, which goes right back into the music business.
Totally.
It goes to music education by the Junos, which is amazing. There's Aaron Pritchett there.
Yeah.
And hey, Dave Babbage and his mustache.
Babbage. He is the coolest player. Dave Babbage. I have some Dave Babbage stories, I'm not sure. Fort McMurray, we did some things together. It was fun. Aaron Pritchett is also talented. One of my favorite guys in the country, talent right now. I mean, he's
and let's talk about this picture right here. Go back one, Adam, because Jim Cuddy is making a shot on goal. And if you listen to CBC or if you were at Let's Hear It Live at the Vancouver Art Gallery today, the goalie is Grant Lawrence, who's a buddy of mine.
Right.
And, you know, for him, being asked to play in this game with Dave Babbage and the rest of the NHLers and the Cliff Ronning, Kirk McLean was there, and Jim Cuddy took a shot on goal, and here's the aftermath is the second photo right there. Bam!
Grant must have loved it.
He must have just loved it, but everybody comes together again for Music Counts, and the money goes straight to music education, which, as you know, is so important.
So important. And you know what? The Canadians do a really good job. The Junos with the master class do a very good job. They mentor young artists. They really, really put their heart and soul.
Like our next guest.
Like our next guest.
Yes, our next guests are Derival, and they, once again, are going to be performing live at the end of the show, but Jeremy got a chance to chat with them to find out a little bit more about the fellas.
Well, fresh off performing last night at Let's Hear It Live for the Junos is this fantastic band, and all of the guys in it, Derival, minus the drummer, right? Welcome. How was it last night?
It was great, yeah. It was really fun. We played Juno Fest a couple of years ago in Calgary, and as part of the Juno Masterclass, and so it was good to do it again, and this time in our hometown.
Well, what is the hometown vibe like? I mean, it's got to change things up, right? More people know about it. They're getting into the music. What's the scoop there?
Yeah, I mean, hometown's great. Music scene's great. Everyone's it's sort of a really nice, tight-knit community of musicians, and everyone kind of helps each other out. And
I love it.
Yeah.
The Canadian spirit, if you will, right? So, big year for you guys. You just released an album that is doing quite well. I mean, Ice Cream, your single, just, what is it, 800,000 hits on YouTube? Congrats.
Thank you.
People are loving that.
I think
right? Tell me a little bit about this album and, you know, bringing your inaugural album together and what it was like working with some of the masterclass people, too, from the Junos.
Yeah, I mean, speaking first to the album side of things, it was great. It's been kind of a bit of a long process, but through doing some of the Juno Masterclass stuff, we kind of took some of the things that we learned from there, like working with Gavin Brown, who produces like Metric and Tragically Hip, and just sort of taking some of the stuff that we learned from the masterclass and applying that to how we wanted to approach this album. And we're super happy with it and super proud to be releasing it.
So how did you want to approach this album then? Because post-process. I mean, we know what it's turned into. How was that kind of jiving together and collaborating as a group?
Yeah, with this one, I think the biggest thing was just we spent so much more time songwriting, and we wrote like, whereas before you'd write like 5 songs, and you're like, all right, sweet, let's record them. We got an EP, like Amazing. Let's do it. And this time, we might have written like 40 songs and pared it down to like 10 full songs for the album.
So we got to learn a couple of fun facts before the interview, and I was talking to these guys, one of which is you used to compete in the Game Boy competitions. Which ones went to kindergarten? Who went to kindergarten? Oh, those two in the back, I see. What is it like kind of running a band, running a group, growing together? How's that evolution been?
Right. I'll actually give this to these guys.
There you go.
Because I know that these guys have known each other for forever.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like over the years we've become a family. I mean, like, I'm getting married next year. These guys are
Congrats.
Like my groomsmen.
Fantastic.
So we're just like a tight-knit family now. Yeah, it's cool.
Tell me that the party favors are going to be Game Boys.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Right? So in terms of working with the master classes we talked about, and you worked with quite a few musicians, what was the process like in terms of the creative and hearing, the criticism or maybe the positive reinforcements? Was it a struggle hearing that and kind of adapting?
It was definitely like, it's always a bit disheartening to take criticism, but I think it's important to take it, and that's how you grow as an artist. And I'm really glad that they were just blunt and completely honest with everything that they said, because otherwise I don't think it would be doing us any good.
Right. So what are you guys doing this weekend? I know that you have lots coming up. It's your mom's 60th birthday today. Shout out to Mom.
Happy birthday, Joyce.
There you go. And you guys are up and doing a lot of things this weekend. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we had the show last night, and today we are in the studio here doing this.
Amazing.
And then on Sunday, we're heading to the Juno broadcast and going to go catch Arcade Fire and Daniel Caesar and hopefully try and find them somewhere in the crowd there. I don't know.
Is there any heroes that you guys want to meet?
I mean...
There's such a long list.
Yeah.
It's a big talent list this year.
Who can we single out?
Daniel Caesar, if you're listening, would love to meet right now.
Arcade Fire, any inspiration there?
Yeah. Oh, well, we met Regine a couple of years ago when we did the masterclass, and they flew us out to Calgary for the Junos, and we met her at the gala dinner, and she's like so nice.
Amazing.
And, I don't even know.
Oh, what were you going to say? A little creative crush happening? A little creative crush? Well, thanks, guys. You guys are going to stick around and throw us out at the end of the show. Rather, play us out at the end of the show. You're not going to throw us out. You'll play us out, right? So thank you for joining us, and good luck with everything this weekend. And congrats on the success. You can also go to YouTube and get that number even more up on the Ice Cream single. And I'll look forward to hearing you guys play a little bit later on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Cheers.
I'm totally looking forward to hearing the fellas playing on the show.
And throwing us out,
yeah.
apparently.
Throw us out.
No,
Somebody should throw us out. No, we actually have a great studio. It's huge in here, and the guys were warming up earlier, and they sound amazing. So you'll want to stick around and hear them play.
Totally. I'm excited to hear all about what they're, well, I was excited to hear about what they were going to kind of do setting up for the Junos tomorrow, but to hear their evolution of, their creative process in the studio and their mentoring, pretty fascinating story.
And it's nice to hear about all the networking that does go on with artists during the Junos, because that's what it's all about, is bringing the musicians together, and you never know what'll come out of it. Like, who knows? The Bare Naked Ladies could get back together. That's our prediction.
That is the prediction, and maybe Stephen Page will show up.
Yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna go back to Paul right now. He is hanging out at the Vancouver Art Gallery for Let's Hear It Live. There's so much action happening down there. It's so loud too. Paul, take it away.
We're still rocking out here with Peach Pit outside of the Vancouver Art Gallery right now, but it's not just here at the Let's Hear It Live that's got the music this week. Juno Fest has filled venues across the city, one of which was the Vogue Theater, hosting a special Juno edition of Sing It Forward. Now, Sing It Forward is a cool charity that feeds money into the St. James Music Academy that provides instruments and music lessons to kids in East Van who might not otherwise be able to do that. The event had an amazing all-star lineup. You got Mother Mother there, Said the Whale, Hey Ocean, ton of great Canadian bands there. One of the acts, Dawn Pemberton, has one of the best voices in the entire country, and I got to talk to her just after her sound check. Okay, we're at the Vogue right now with Dawn Pemberton getting ready for the Sing It Forward event, the Juno Week edition. Now, they're helping out the kids at the St. James Music Academy, which they do so many great things for kids in East Van. They get music lessons and stuff out of it. What gets you really excited for an event like this and to be able to help that group?
I think it's great because it gives kids a context and a framework for why they're doing music and why they're learning and why they're coming together. They can see that the practical applications of getting to do and show what they know and share that, but also the beautiful things that come out of making music with lots of people.
Making music with lots of people. You were telling me how excited and how chilling it was to hear these awesome kids singing some of the songs you guys have been working on with them.
They're beautiful. I feel someone was asking me what it was like, and it was sort of like a very sacred moment, just seeing all this innocence in their faces, and they're so present when they sing, and you can't help but feel moved by it.
Talking about sacred sounds, music, Say Something is still the most recent record from you right now. Just tell us, if folks have not heard it, what's this one all about?
All right, well, Say Something is about those moments in life when you have to make choices and you have to decide either to act or let things go.
So many of these artists seek you out for your specialties and stuff. Is there anyone, and I'm going to throw a time machine potentially in there if you want, who would you seek out to collaborate with?
Ooh, okay, that's an amazing question. I would love to collaborate with Donny Hathaway, for sure. I would love to collaborate with, any of the Beatles. I think that'd be fun to kind of do some writing with them.
Ringo was just knighted, too. Maybe you can get a knighting in there as well.
Yeah, I can keep hope alive. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I would love to hang out with Bach and see what, because he's a genius, so I want to hang out and see what he has to say about music and what he thinks.
So it's Juno Week in Vancouver right now. What gets you really excited about, especially when it's in Vancouver for us here, the collection and celebration of Canadian music like that?
I think it's a good injection for the Vancouver music scene. Gets people excited about music, because sometimes I feel like they're not always excited about music. And then we get to sort of showcase what we have going on here for the rest of the country. Yeah, it's just great. It's the more that music is in the forefront, the better our lives are and the better our world is.
With the Chambers plan, choosing the right employee benefit program is easy. It's flexible, easy to manage, has stable rates, and fits your budget. Choose the plan that covers more small businesses than any other in Canada. The Chambers plan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Hear It Live. The Junos are going to be live from Vancouver, 5 p.m. West Coast time tomorrow, the big show.
Big show, and you can catch it online. And basically, you have no excuse not to watch the Junos this year. It's everywhere.
For some Canadian talent. You can watch it live. You can even go down and watch. I don't know if you can go down. Well, now I take that back.
Yeah, buy
I can't
tickets.
figure out what the Georgia Viaduct red carpet is. I still don't understand it.
We got no clarity on that.
But I can't wait to see what it actually is.
Me too. I think
Deadpool's going to show up, and it's going to be like one of those crossover episodes.
Just a Ryan and a Bublé on the stage
together.
Who would
win that fight?
That would be good. Is he in character? That's the question. Is he Deadpool character? Because then I'm going to give it to him.
Okay, and one of the performers tomorrow night on the Juno Awards will be the Arkells, and they kind of had an amazing Canadian adventure. By the way, they also were 2018 Single of the Year nominees.
Yeah, big.
But they ended up playing at the Olympics, and it all happened because of social media.
Isn't it crazy? So they sent out a tweet. Well, first they asked Tessa and Scott to...
Virtue and Maury, of course, that Tessa and Scott.
Right, yeah, I guess I should. I thought everyone knew who they were. To basically announce their Hamilton tour. So that's where they're from. They were talking about we're getting started. And of course, what did it become?
Well, Tessa and Scott, they're nice enough. They tweeted back, they announced it, and apparently there's always warm-up songs for the athletes. And of course, being Canadian athletes, Canadian songs. One of those songs was the Arkells. This turned into a social media conversation of, hey, you guys listen to our song to warm up. That's great. Next thing you know, the Arkells are being flown to South Korea, and they're performing at Canada House, because that's just how Canada works, people.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, I was talking before, like, we should start tweeting Air Canada right now and just see if we can...
I tried that when my flight got delayed. I got a $10 voucher for a sandwich.
Oh, that good old airline. Well, they ended up going to South Korea and, of course, ended up performing at Canada House along with the DuFour-DuPont sisters. They were up on stage singing with them. It was a pretty good Canadian moment.
Awesome Canadian moment. And there will be many more happening throughout the weekend, especially on tomorrow night's broadcast of the Juno Awards. And it's time for us again. Paul McClellan, by the way, is the busiest guy on the show.
Just double duty over there,
I know. So we've got to go back to the Vancouver Art Gallery to find out what is happening with Paul. Paul, take it away.
Okay, guys, Peach Pit just got off the stage, and I've shifted over into the VIP area where there's a bit of heating. It's a little bit cold out there, but that's just a testament to how awesome the action is on the stage tonight, because the fans don't care. They're toughing out the cold with their scarves and their toques. I'm going to stay here in the warm VIP area for a little while, though, so please forgive me, fans out there still freezing. Now let's head on down to another well-heated, warm place, the new Park Hotel in Vancouver. I caught up with double Juno nominee Felix Cartel there. All right, we're here with Felix Cartel, couple of Juno nominations, Producer of the Year and Dance Recording of the Year. How are you feeling? How much do you like getting those nods from the music scene in Canada?
It's really rare, so I feel very fortunate to have them. Yeah, I'm very flattered. Yeah.
Very flattering, big exciting weekend. You've had nominations before. What do you like about the gathering of talent like this and the celebration of Canadianism in the music industry?
I mean, I feel like Canadians are always really warm-hearted and everyone's super nice. And also, I just love, it's always super trippy for me to like sit in a room with people that I listened to growing up. And I'm like kind of sitting with them now, so it's very strange.
Is there anyone you've seen or are expecting to see that you're just like a little bit of, jaw drop, awe type of stuff?
I mean, honestly, I've never seen the Arcade Fire perform. And I know they're awesome. And so I'm like really excited to cross that off my bucket list because I know that they're an incredible live band.
I just saw them in the fall. They're amazing. You're in for a treat.
I'm looking forward to it so much.
Now, before what you're doing right now, New West Boy, punk rock bands, prog rock bands, if you could talk to yourself back then, would you have expected to be on the Juno stage like this right now?
No, because I never did music as like a career idea. I just did it because it was fun. And yeah, I don't know. I always sort of, like when I switched to making electronic music, I always felt that was almost more punk rock because we just stole software and made stuff on our laptop, and that felt like more punk rock to me almost than being in a band.
In punk rock. We were just talking samosa shops in Wally. Where were you playing your shows back in the day here?
Yeah, we used to rent a samosa shop, this back room in a samosa shop in Wally called Snackers, and the guy would rent it to us for like $40. And we would throw shows there, and we'd bring out 100 kids, charge like $3 or $5 a head, and we'd make $150, $200 and be stoked.
Did you get samosas with the deal?
Samosas all night.
Samosas all night. That's a good name for a record or something.
Yeah, that was our third album. That's like, no, I'm just kidding.
I wanted to touch on it too. Dance recording of the year, of course. Get What You Give, New Radicals.
Yeah.
I think we're about the same age. We probably listened to the same radio stations in the city growing up.
Yeah.
What did that song mean to you? Why was that one that you were attracted to?
That was one of those songs where it just feels sort of like the soundtrack to my high school, like, existence, sort of. And then I kind of stumbled upon it again sort of like 10 years later, and then it was one of those songs where when I heard the lyric again, I didn't remember it being sort of so insightful at the time because I think I wasn't like old enough to think about it really on that level. And then I was like, oh wow, like these lyrics got better over time, and that's sort of like when I felt compelled to sort of try and do my own take on it.
So you talk about that track. I mean, what draws you to just any track? Like when you're working on something coming up, what brings you in?
I mean, I haven't really ever done something like that where I flipped a song. So normally I'm just writing, and I'm writing with other people. So, I mean, what draws me to writing stuff, I just try to write about my own experiences. And I think a lot of what I try to do is, like, I want to enable people to create, and I want them to, like, know it's hard work, but it's like anyone can do it. And if I can help encourage people to do that, then I'm happy.
So what are you working on right now? I heard there is some kind of project you're working on with your sister right now?
Well, I have an album coming out. Actually, just had a song come out today called Walking By. It features Iselin Solheim, and she's from Norway. She's an amazing singer. And then it's leading up to an album which comes out in 2 months. And yeah, me and my sister, she's an amazing pianist, so we wrote a song together on the album. We've never done that before, so.
It's the first, what's that? It's got to be a special sort of experience. Do you have a good relationship, I hope?
Yeah, we do, but we've never had like a musical relationship, which is really strange. Yeah, so we sort of like loosely talked about it on and off, but never really seriously. And then one day we were just like, okay, let's do it.
Thank you so much, Felix Cartel, and best of luck this weekend. Cheers.
Thank you.
Welcome back again to Let's Hear It Live. And that Paul, he hops around town, man. If he's not at the art galleries, at the Park Hotel, he's everywhere.
And he's in flannel. And flannel at the park is kind of great. They go in hand in hand.
So Canadian. So Canadian. Felix Cartel, he seems like a good, really good guy.
Totally. I'm actually quite excited to see what's happening over at Park too, because they have a lot of festivities this year.
They do. They have a lot of stuff. The Park is the official hotel of the Juno, so if you happen to want to do some star spotting, that would be the place to stake out.
It's probably where to go.
They literally, you can walk from inside the park into Rogers Arena, so that is why all the artists are likely staying there, and then there's a whole lot of events.
And they had, I know Felix Cartel was doing something with Lululemon this morning down there too.
There was some yoga happening. I don't know, was Felix doing the yoga?
I think he was DJing. He was totally DJing with those guys.
Yes, I was supposed to go.
Which is probably the way to do yoga if you think about it.
Absolutely. But as Felix just said in his interview, he has a new single that just dropped. That's what the kids say. Yeah. And an album coming out as well. And if you want to find out more about Felix, you can go to his website. It is felixcartel.com.
Amazing. No, it's a great band. And you know what? It's so fun to have Paul over there catching up with the artists and really getting that kind of vibe of what's taking place, because downtown Vancouver, there's a lot going on.
A lot going on. And we're going to hear some Felix Cartel right now. So let's do that.
What's up, Vancouver? Yo, happy Friday, everybody. It's a very special day for us here on Juno Weekend. We just dropped our first album, basically 10 years in the making.
The Funk Hunters.
To downtown Vancouver, pump down Van City, let's do it.
Yo, turn it up. Time to stand to attention. It's about to go down. So are you ready? From the front to the back, from the left to the right. Funk Hunters, let's do this.
Just give back my daydream. That one whole back Put your hands up,
Put your hands up with
baby.
us.
Put your hands up, baby. Put your hands up, baby. Hands up, raise your fist. With the new generation, it sounds like this. Hands up, raise your fist. With the new generation, it sounds like this. Hands up, raise your fist. With the new generation, it sounds like this. Hands up, raise your fist. Middle finger to the man, try and cut this. So put your hands up. Put your hands up, baby. Put your hands up. Raise your fist. When that everything's pure mayhem, the whole world is upside down. Hypocrisy has been confessed on. Only truth is in my sound. Oh, that's right. So glad drink and get down. Oh, that groove was spinning, it don't lie. No, no. Never fall into the mainstream. Goddamn rappers till you die. Oh, till you die. So put your hands up, baby. 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 Hands up, raise your fist. With the new generation, sounds like this. Hands up, raise your fist. With the new generation, sounds like this. Hands up, raise your fist. With the new generation, sounds like this. Hands up, raise your fist. Middle finger to the man, try and cut this. So put your hands up, baby. Put your hands up, baby.
Give it good with us tonight.
Put your hands up, baby. Put your hands up.
The Chambers Plan now offers employee benefit programs with greater selection, higher coverage levels, and more value than ever before. Take another look and see why we're the choice of more small businesses than any other plan in Canada. The Chambers Plan. It's for your benefit.
Make my time in the VIP, the heated area, last as long as possible. So I'm just hanging out here with Dan right now. How are you enjoying the show tonight?
I've had a great time tonight, man. It's really fun. I was here very early on because our label Cordova Bay had a party here from starting at 2, and I've been here just enjoying the VIP and watching a bunch of bands. Chersi is a label mate of ours, and she played at 4, and she's a really great all-female-fronted, keyboard-driven frontline, which
amazing.
is really awesome.
We got her coming up in a little bit, an interview that I got with her earlier today. And, Ben Sinister, what are you guys up to these days?
Well, Ben Sinister is putting out a new record that comes out this summer. We just put out our new single, Heard It All Before, and it's got a great lyric video that the entire band did the video in our van, where we basically had a light box that you could change the text on, and we basically, cut together an entire music video while driving gig to gig in Western Canada, which is a lot of snow, a lot of ice, and a lot of slow drives. So it made it more interesting, I think, along the way.
I want to talk to you more about it, but we got to get to the next feature. Thank you so much for stopping in. If you haven't seen Ben Sinister, one of the most exciting, fun bands to see live in the city. Another great act we got coming up for you right now is Karen Lee Batten.
And welcome back to Let's Hear It Live. I am here with Karen Lee Batten. She has a smile on her face because she's having a pretty good week with this album right here. It's called Under the Covers in Muscle Shoals. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you
Awesome.
too. And you've been having a great time with this album coming out. Run me through. You've done a couple of launches, soft launches. And it's in a pretty good spot on Billboard.
It's actually quite overwhelming, to be honest with you. We did a soft release event with a 9-piece band last week, and that put us #2 on the billboards. And then the next day we released it digitally, and it put us at #4 of the top downloaded albums on iTunes.
Now, you recorded this in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, in a pretty historic place, but you did it a year ago. How hard is it to keep this inside before you let the baby go and let everybody hear it when it's been done and done for a year?
You totally hit that right on the mark. My manager, Mitch Merritt, was so funny because right after we were finished, of course, we had 1,000 photos, right? And he said, you can't even post one. Like, we can't post anything. And there I am, you know, I started off in Nashville on that trip, and then we went down to Alabama, and the experience of being there and being with the Swampers, because we recorded the record with 50% of the band were the original guys that recorded songs in Fame Recording Studio. And
Amazing.
So they're the guys that did, like, oh my goodness, they did Respect with Aretha Franklin, I'd Rather Go Blind with Etta James, they did Land of a Thousand Dances, Old Time Rock and Roll. I mean, these are the songs that came out of there. And so then to not be able to talk about it, like you said, for a year, was really hard, but at the same time, it's kind of like keeping a secret, you know, at Christmas, like you knew that...
It's a really good secret.
You knew you had a good secret, yeah.
Well, let's talk about Fame Studios a bit. You mentioned some of the names of people who had recorded there. What was it like for you? You get to Alabama, you step into Fame Studios, you're surrounded by all this history and equipment and people that you mentioned. What is that like for you as a musician when you first walk into that?
You know, the whole experience kind of began because my buddy Mitch had this idea of going down there to cut this record. He told me to watch the documentary Muscle Shoals live before I went down there. There's nothing, though, like walking through the doors of that studio, knowing that you've got, like, I'm planted in exactly the same spot as Aretha.
I just got chills.
I can't imagine. But exactly what you're feeling is like, it was times 1,000 me just standing there. And there I am standing there knowing I'm about to sing a song that she recorded there. And then I'm looking out and I've got some of the original guys playing the same instruments, sitting in exactly the same spot with my buddy from Canada, you know, in the control room. And we had a guy, Mike Pyle, who co-produced on the album as well. And he's back there too. And there were times when, you know, it was almost difficult to sing.
I can imagine. I mean, I can imagine it'd be so inspiring when you think of that. I mean, I got chills just imagining you there. But was it a little bit intimidating?
Not a little bit. It was a lot intimidating. Yeah. To know that you're singing with these guys that have heard these greats for so many years was crazy. And you only can hope that you're doing justice to these songs and that they think that you sound okay.
So you only did songs that had been recorded in Fame Studios?
Yeah, we only did songs recorded in Muscle Shoals, 2 of which did not actually record there in its entirety in Fame, and one of them actually being a Canadian song. So we put one Canadian song on the album. You'll know. We put one Canadian song on the album, and it was so funny because they're so down south that they thought I wrote it. They didn't know, and we didn't tell them at first. So we didn't play them the original version of the song. You'll know it.
Tell me, because I don't have my damn glass. I can't see.
So we did Amanda Marshall, Let It Rain.
Get out.
So what was so cool.
And that's a great tune for your voice,
too. I love it. Love it. And their version was so amazing. So what we did is we actually only wrote out a chart, and we handed them the chart, and Mitch and I just kind of noodled like on the floor before recording, and I just sang it a cappella with him just on, you know, on guitar, like just acoustically, you know. And then they went to town and they took it and they just did with it what they wanted, and there were like really cool accidents that we kept because the record's live. So it's live off the floor. So we did every song like 3 or 4 takes, and then we go, I think we got it.
Yeah.
And then we would pick, you know, the best take.
Is that the first time you've done an album like that?
An album, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've done recordings that were live, but that's actually how it all began. Was I got asked to do a bit of a live recording for a microphone company in Vancouver, and we just did 5 songs all in one day. And I walked away and I said, "All I want is the hard drive." That's cool. Yep, that's cool. So I went and listened to it after, and I went, "Oh my gosh, all the emotion of all the players." And even my voice, you know, not to be like that or anything, but it was like, it was the first time I'd heard my voice just kept as raw.
As the instrument.
Yeah, and all the musicians just kept raw. Like no one edited it. It wasn't like overproduced. It, you know, it wasn't chopped up and messy. And, you know, I get that everyone wants it to be perfect, but I kind of like perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it works, and the way
Thanks.
it's charting is working. Now, we haven't even talked about the Junos. You're soaking it all in this time. Are you going to go to the big event on Sunday night?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Juno Awards?
I have not been to the Junos before. I'm so stoked. I've been to, you know, a lot of our Canadian awards, but I haven't been to, like, the Canadian Country Awards, but I haven't been to the Junos before, so I'm really excited to kind of go down there and see what it's all about. And it's going to be a mixture. I'm so used to, you know, hanging out with just all country
It's
and
gonna
a
be
little bit of
everything.
rock, or, you know.
The whole gamut.
It's going to be everything, so.
Well, so nice to see you again, and congratulations
Thank
on
you. It's
the
good to
album.
see you
Be
too.
sure to pick it up. It's Under the Covers in Muscle Shoals by Karen Lee Batten. And Karen Lee Batten, what a great girl. I've had the opportunity to interview a few times over the years, and it's so amazing to see the trajectory of her career.
I was going to say, the Googling that I did just to plan for some of those bits, the first thing that came up was you and her at the Rush doing an interview together.
I think that was 3 years ago, and she was having a good week that week, too. She does really well, and she's going to the Junos, as she said, soaking it all in this weekend, attending for the first time tomorrow night, and capturing all the Canadian moments that will be happening. And the most Canadian thing this year, you and I were talking about it, is how everybody came together for the Tragically Hip.
Totally.
Gord Downey and the amazing, amazing final tour that he did. I'm going to get Oliver Klemp talking about this.
I just started to get a little bit myself.
Yes, because he's nominated for 2 awards tomorrow night for his album Introduce Yourself. He's nominated for Songwriter, Adult Alternative Album, and also Artist of the Year.
Artist of the Year. It's a big one. It's a big nomination, and I think that I think he's gonna win that one. I mean, the fact is that the talent that he showed. I mean, we talked about this a little bit yesterday on the broadcast. Was just all the energy during that last year too.
Yeah.
It was just remarkable. But I'm sure that we're going to come up with some surprises there, and you're going to see somebody.
There will be a tribute, I'm sure. Yes, and what an amazing artist. And I think it was nice to see the Canadian fabric come together collectively as a country, and for something positive, you know, to celebrate one of the greatest artists that we've had the opportunity to enjoy in our generation.
Oh man, I love that man. And
See,
the
I'm
band.
getting all weepy again. But there's so many great artists out there, and Chersy's one of them. You'll want to check her out. What a talent, what a voice, and she's a multitasker. I could never do what she will. I can't sing, first of all.
Yeah.
She's got an amazing voice, but you'll definitely want to see her performance. You can find out more about her at her website. It's ChersyMusic.com, but here she is.
Letting inside, wash it off, but you're not touching water.
We're still outside the Vancouver Art Gallery right now for Let's Hear It Live. I'm just chilling out with some of the awesome folks that have come out to see the music. So who have we got here right now?
I'm Jilly. Adeline.
Welcome. And I hear you're not from around these parts. Where are you guys from?
France.
From France. When did you get here?
Last weekend.
Welcome to Vancouver. So you guys saw Peach Pit. What did you think?
It's very good. It's very very good. We really like it. The singer was his move was very cool. We liked it.
He's
like this. It's very cool.
Like this. That's the best way. That's better than any words could use to describe it. So you're having a lot of fun here tonight?
Yes. Very fun. Very cool. We don't have this in France.
They don't even have this in France, guys. Why aren't you down here with me? Come on down. There's still a couple acts coming up. But right now, we're going to take you over. We met with Chersey. You heard earlier, Dan Moxon from Ben Sinister loves his Chersey. Well, here's an interview with her we got just before she took the stage here behind me. Okay, we're chatting with Chersey right now. I hear Let's Hear It Live is going to get some brand new songs debuting. Is there any truth to that?
I think so. There's going to be a couple new songs. Yep, my new album is finally dropping after 4 years of investment and time. I'm going to play most of my new songs today.
So, new album. What's the new album sounding like? What do people need to, or I mean, how would it compare to what we've heard from you in past experiences?
It's very similar, a lot of digital, but this time we're kind of taking some analog approaches and morphing them into some digital experience, calling it experiential pop, you know? So trying to just give a big spectrum of sound and making it really exciting.
And I'm sure you will. You've got a full band today. I've only seen you in your Looper Space Pod amazing setup for shows. How is things changing in that regard for you with a crew now?
Oh, it's so exciting. It's great. I got a bass player. I got 2 synth players, and one of them plays horn, and they're going to be backup vocals. And then I got a fantastic drummer, and it's just going to be super great. I get to play 1 key trumpet and sing. That is the holy grail for someone who comes from my spaceship unit, my octopus arms, where I get actually move. It's so good now.
Do you prefer it? Because I mean, you had total control over every layer of every song in a performance before. Some people they're control freaks. I'm not suggesting you are, but I mean, how does it compare when you get the band with you compared to that experience?
Total control freak. For real. You get me in the room with those guys, and I was sitting there playing. I can't play a full drum kit, but I was playing chart. I was like, this is what you gotta do on this part, and this is what you do on this part. And then I was like, but you gotta put them all together. And he was like, okay, so I need to do the 8 on the 1 and the blah, blah, and you can just see the cogs working. And then it's just, still a control freak. It's gonna be awesome though. They're awesome, incredible musicians from a multifaceted background. Sorry, my lip's bleeding. I can feel it.
I heard, you were fighting some of the other bands backstage to get riled up for the show.
Yeah. You got to.
Fight Club style with bands.
It's so good.
Well, and I was going to ask too, the backing band. I mean, it's Juno week, so it's all about amazing Canadian talent. But you've got kind of a super band. You got Jody Glendam in there. Who's all backing you up today?
Yeah, so I got Jody Glendam from Jody Glendam. That's her project. She's awesome.
She's awesome.
She's playing keys, doing vocals. I have Chrissy Leaudette, who has her own band, Wrong, previously in Ben Sinister. Then I got Chartwell Kerr, who's from a band, Hawking. Incredible. I don't know how to even describe them. They're mint. And then I got Brayson Wong, who does a lot of great cover bands, and he works in a band called Royal Oak, who I'm actually going to be featuring on one of their new tracks. So it's a big family project. It's really great.
Can't wait to hear it all. And just real quickly, when can we expect maybe some record news? How close are we to that?
Very close. First single coming out 4/20.
4/20, we're in the right spot. Front of the Vancouver Art Gallery for that. Thank you so much, Chersey. Okay, so everybody is filing in right now here just outside the Vancouver Art Gallery, staking out their spot because there's still a few more acts to come. We got Convict, we got Horsepower, who I love. She's amazing if you don't know who she is. Desi Subculture also still to come. So there's been so much talent here all day. It's been amazing at Let's Hear It Live. I hope you got out and got to enjoy some of it, or at least enjoyed some of it here with us tonight. Someone else who was on the stage earlier, well, it was the 2016 Breakout Artist or Breakout Group of the Year at the Junos, Deer Rouge, and I caught up with them just after they got off the stage. Okay, we're hanging out with Danielle and Drew from Deer Rouge right now. How's it going, guys? How are you enjoying the Junos festivities this week?
We're doing good,
So far, so good.
Juno Week, very exciting, but also very exciting. Phases is out, new album, guys. Long time coming. How are you feeling about this one?
Really good. A
little excited there.
A little too excited. It's been a while. We're just so stoked to have our music out in the world, a new project out in the world. We get to play these songs live, which feels so, so good. Yeah. And you just want to keep moving, keep growing, keep evolving, and that's what we've done with Phases, so go check it out.
Talking about evolution with sounds, I mean, how does this one compare to the last record?
You know what, we spent a lot of time, we tried pushing ourselves to the corners and not doing what we did on our last record, and eventually when we came back, we feel like maybe we didn't grow wider, but we grew deeper. Okay. So I would say that when you listen to it, it sounds like a step for Deer Rouge, but hopefully the listener would say this is a mature, deeper step than we've taken. So,
oh, quite the answer, Drew.
I like that one too. I wanted to touch on
wider, but deep, not wider, but
deeper, but
we're both maybe a little wider. I don't know.
Sounded good when he said it.
Yeah, totally.
Not when she said it.
Or I went when I said it, but sure. The video for Boys and Blondes, you guys look so badass. All the videos for the first record too looked amazing. What have you got going with the record? I'm sure some touring. Are there more videos on the way?
We have a video on the way, and a little tidbit of information. I run with some wild wolves.
What?
Yeah.
4-pack.
Like I had one on my arm, gnawing on it for like
I'm scared for you right now.
It's pretty deep.
The wolves eat me alive in the next video.
Amazing special effects, because you don't look like you've been impacted at all by this attack.
There are wolves in it though, and it's for a new song that we're going to be releasing called "The Chains" or "Chains." It's on the record.
And we are touring with lights, not with visual lights, but the band lights. I tell a lot of people, I'm like, we're going on tour with lights, and they're like, finally, so people can see you.
They want a light show.
They want a light show.
You're pretty people. They want to see you up.
You must get that a lot, though. Like confused about her name.
Someone
and
asked about it,
lights.
but we start in Calgary on Tuesday, so we're ready for the party. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, talking about touring, you guys were just down at South by Southwest hanging out with Ahi, who I love. I mean, how was that whole experience?
Such a great experience. The first thing we did when we got there was we went to a very Texan barbecue, and I got like a full rack of ribs and just mowed down.
Lone Star beer.
All right.
So back to growing wider. I probably grew a little wider at that point of our career.
A little wider, but then deeper's coming. Who knows?
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So this interview is going amazingly. Just lastly, are you guys enjoying the rest of the Junos weekend? Are you having some fun at some of these parties, some of these shows?
Yeah. We're out and about, and you run into everyone. And it feels like a giant reunion. It's good.
Like meeting up with you guys. It's been a little while.
Yeah. This guy's trouble. So you're gonna be out in the town tonight, aren't you?
I might. We're gonna be out and about with Deer Rouge. Cut the video. We gotta go do things.
All right.
The final acts have just taken to the stage here at Let's Hear It Live outside of the Vancouver Art Gallery as part of Juno Week. It's been amazing down here all day as well as yesterday. I just want to say thank you guys for sending me down on assignment. I'm sorry you were stuck in the studio, which I hear was super cold, just like down here. But yeah, Paul McClellan signing out. I got to go party, maybe grab a beer or something. See you later.
Thank you for going down there. It is a little bit cold in the studio, but it's definitely nippier where you are, man.
Yes, Let's Hear It Live. Let's hear it for Paul McClellan. How many interviews did he do?
Wow,
the last
he was
2 shows?
double duty,
and
right? Just
in
going.
the cold. But thank you, Paul, and thank you to everybody at the 2018 JUNO Host Committee for letting this happen. It's been so much fun for you and I to do Let's Hear It Live.
Yeah, and come back. You know, I mean, the fact is that the Junos are happening tomorrow. Again, you can catch a broadcast 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's on CBC and, of course, live streaming on Twitter and many, many other devices.
Absolutely, and a few other folks we want to thank who have just had so much to do with all the creativity and all the music that's been happening around town for the past week. Creative BC, Music BC, and of course our sponsor who allowed this to happen, Chambers Plan Group Insurance.
Yeah, and Hubcast for even putting on this broadcast. I mean, they have state-of-the-art technology that allows Paul to be down there and us to be in the studio, and we're quite far away, so we thank the crew inside of here as well.
Absolutely. If you want to find out more about Hubcast, you can go to our website. It's hubcastmedia.com. Lots of great stuff in the works, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. And if you want to see some of the interviews, we actually have some bonus content and performances. You can check out the website or go to our YouTube channel as well.
I love it. Well, Derival is back in studio with us, which means they're going to play us out with some badass music.
They are, so we want to thank you. Big thanks from Jeremy and myself, and enjoy the Junos, people. Here is Derival with Found Out.
I've forgotten what originally sought out. I've forgotten what the music's about. We constantly look and we constantly seek for something we want that makes us unique. We'll wake up covered in yesterday's clothes, wondering what happened the night before. Wake up covered in yesterday's clothes, trying to decide if I wanted no more. And I remember when we found out, we thought it wasn't true, but they stole their sound. I remember when we found out, we thought it wasn't cool, now we're so left out. But follow your advice and your fame, even though it's just a name. And when they look, can they see you're not at all what you seem? We'll wake up covered in yesterday's clothes, wondering what happened the night before. Wake up covered in yesterday's clothes, trying to decide if I wanted no more. And I remember when we found out, we thought it wasn't true, but they stole their sound. I remember when we found out, we thought it wasn't cool, now we're so left out. I remember when, I remember when, I remember, I remember when, I remember, I remember when we found out. Call it what it was, and call it what it was, a copy of. Call it what it was, and call it what it was, a copy of. I can't get past the feeling that I'm feeling. No, I can't believe that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Wake up covered in yesterday's clothes, wondering what happened the night before. Wake up covered in yesterday's clothes, trying to decide if I wanted no more. And I remember when we found out, we thought it wasn't true, but this all has sound. I remember when we found out, we thought it wasn't cool, now we're so left out. I remember when, I remember when, I remember, I remember when, I remember, I remember when we found out. I remember when, I remember when, I remember, I remember when, I remember, I remember when we found out. The night a second time. Is it a crime to avoid the truth and carry on, acting like nothing's wrong? You keep falling away, falling away. I see your face in the rear view. I keep driving away, driving away. I see your face in the mirror. You and I know this will not last. Getting caught in and out of ghosts of our past, ghosts of our past. You and I kiss goodbye, our normal lives. Is this a sign that you were right to pick my fights instead of going after every guy? You keep falling away, falling away. I see your face in the rear view. I keep driving away, driving away. I see your face in the mirror. You and I know this will not last. Getting caught in and out of ghosts of our past, ghosts of our past. Where were you when I was alone upon your throne of lies? I could see that the end was near inside those quiet eyes. Where were you when I was alone upon your throne of lies? I could see that the end was near inside those quiet eyes. Keep driving away. I see your face in the mirror. You and I know this will not last. Getting caught in and out of ghosts of our past, ghosts of our past. You and I know this will not last. Getting caught in and out of ghosts of our past, ghosts of our past. You and I know this will not last. Getting caught in and out of ghosts of our past. Said we're moving at a comfortable pace. I said you're doing it right, yeah, you're doing it right. But I still feel like we're in the same place. Are we doing it right? Are we doing it right? You know, Everyone's got their own 2 cents. Everyone has a different idea of what they think is right. But are we doing it right? Are we doing it right? You make me melt like ice cream. Wake me up from this daydream. I can't go back to where it is that we came from. I can't go back doing things that satisfy some. My past at the door, 'cause I don't need it anymore. No, I can't go back. Not everyone is supportive of this, so are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? Because I know when we succeed, they'll see it in a new light. They'll see it in a new light. Everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has war and peace. I hope you know what you got into, 'cause I'm ready to fight. Yeah, I'm ready to fight. You make me melt like ice cream. Wake me up from this daydream. I can't go back to where it is that we came from. I can't go back doing things that satisfy some. Leave my past at the door, 'cause I don't need it anymore. No, I can't go back. Who's to say what we can do? There's nothing we're trying to prove. Who's to say where we can go? But there's nothing. I can't go back to where it is that we came from. I can't go back doing things that satisfy some. Leave my past at the door, 'cause I don't need it anymore. No, I can't go back. I can't go back where it is that we came from. I can't go back doing things that satisfy some.
Premium after year. Choose the plan that covers more small businesses than any other in Canada. The Chambers Plan.